Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of the Western New York Family Magazine podcast. I'm your host, Paul Klein, owner and publisher of Western New York Family Magazine, and each month on this podcast, we'll be talking about great events and attractions in Western New York, businesses that provide important services to local families, and issues that families face. In this episode, we'll head to the beautiful village of Lewiston for a look at all of the family entertainment lined up at Artpark this summer. We're celebrating the history of the carousel at the Herschell Carrousel Factory Museum, and we'll pay a visit to the Aquarium of Niagara, where they're celebrating 60 years of inspiration. But first, I'm here at the Buffalo and Erie County Botanical Gardens, where an amazing new exhibit has flown in. Joining me now is Shauna Mooney, Marketing Manager for the Buffalo and Erie County Botanical Gardens, and Olivia Rondon, Exhibit and Interpretation Specialist, to talk about the brand new butterfly experience. Welcome to you both.
Thanks, Paul. We're so excited to be here.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. So the first word that I can think of that really encapsulates this exhibit is magical. It is a beautiful exhibit, and the butterflies are all around. Tell us a little bit about the exhibit and what visitors will experience when they enter.
So we just opened our butterfly experience last week. We had an amazing first start. We did about 1,000 people each day on the weekend, but it didn't feel like that. We had no lines. Everybody had smiles on their faces the whole time. We have between 300 and 400 butterflies in our experience, which sounds like a lot, but I promise it doesn't feel overwhelming. It's just magical, like you said. So our visitors can come here. They can get up close and personal with the butterflies, really have an experience that you wouldn't have anywhere else. And you get to see them really up close. And there's a lot of different educational opportunities as well.
And this exhibit has been several years in the making. Tell us a little bit about the development of the experience and what went into bringing it to our area.
Yeah, so we've talked about doing this for so many years, and it's been so exciting to finally be able to say that we have this in Buffalo. It's been a couple years in the making. We've been talking about it. Visitors and guests have been asking about it for years. So finally, we were like, yes, we can do this. We made it happen. A humongous thank you to our sponsor, Bank, for also helping us make this happen. But yeah, we had to go through a lot of different processes with the USDA, making sure that we're certified, all of our sellers are responsibly sourced and things like that. So all of our butterflies are native to the U.S. So you will see some that you've seen in your backyards, but you'll also see some that maybe you haven't seen before. So there's lots of different colors, shapes, sizes of butterflies that you're going to see.
Very good. And in addition to all of the fun interactions that with these creatures that visitors will have, this is also a learning experience. What type of educational features will visitors find at the exhibit?
Yeah, so we put together 7 different kind of local learning stations. You can find them both in the exhibit and also throughout the conservatory as well, because we wanted to keep the experience just throughout the whole thing, so it was more fun and grew outside of just inside of where we are here. So we cover things like metamorphosis, their life cycle, the structures of their wings, because there's so many things about these beautiful butterflies we see everywhere that we just don't know. Mm-hmm. So we also provide some hands-on learning opportunities too, where you're able to get a little bit closer, because typically when you see a butterfly, it flies by and you're like, oh, there it goes. But here you get the opportunity to get up close and personal and watch what happens when it lands on a flower, and the way it smells and how it eats and everything like that.
And you also have the emergence panel where you can really get a look at all of the different stages that it goes through from caterpillar to butterfly as well. Is that right?
So we receive all of our butterfly in the pupa state. So as you can see behind you, those are all different species. So some of them look a little bit different, but they're all in that pupated stage where they're in between the caterpillar and the butterfly. And it's called their chrysalis. And after they're about a week or so, they'll emerge and we get to release them into our garden.
The other cool thing about the emergence case is it's on display all day, every day. Mm-hmm. So anytime that you come to visit, you're going to be able to see this. So you might even have the chance to watch one of them emerge live. And it's really, really awesome to see.
Oh, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. And you have some activities planned, especially for the kids when they visit the exhibit. Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, we have lots of different things for everybody to see. We have lots of different learning stations and facts like Olivia was talking about to learn. But we also have some fun stuff like a caterpillar scavenger hunt. So that'll help keep little ones busy throughout their time here. And then we did also open our new play space in March this year, which is fantastic. We've never had a dedicated play space just for kids. Kids come here and they're told, don't touch this, don't touch that, don't run. So the play space is the space just for that. So they can touch everything. They can run around and play and, have a blast and also learn while doing all of that. What's really amazing about our play space is it's all pollinator themed. So kind of ties in a little bit with our butterflies that we're talking about. We have an observation station for our beehive. So everything in the play space is, pretty bee themed. So you get to learn about bees and how they're so important to food production and so many things in our everyday lives. So we just want to start instilling that in kids, real soon.
Yeah, that's very important. And along with this exhibit, you also have some new features, and you have a major groundbreaking coming up as well. Is that right?
We do, yes. Oh my gosh, this has been so exciting and such a long time coming. And finally, we're ready to share all the exciting news. So yeah, we are going to have our expansion and renovation project breaking ground very soon. People are going to start to see that this summer. So you'll start to see some fences going up and some things happening behind us. But what's really amazing about the project is it's not impacting our conservatory whatsoever. So we're going to be open all summer long. So you'll still be able to come, see the butterflies, see all of our exhibits, see all of the changes that we're working on. Because we're not only expanding, but we're also renovating too. So constantly making updates to our plant collections in here and just making everything look so beautiful. I like to tell everyone, if you haven't been here in a year, 2 years, couple years, it looks different every single day, and I come here every single day, so I do recommend coming, a couple different times and seeing all the changes and what's blooming.
There's always going to be something new.
Exactly. Yeah.
So many new things to see, and so many new things on the horizon for the Botanical Gardens here. Shauna and Olivia, thank you so much for joining us. Where can listeners go to get their tickets for the butterfly experience?
Yes, I forgot to mention that important piece. Pre-purchase tickets are required for the butterflies, so we do recommend everybody get those ahead of time, and you can go find those at buffalogardens.com.
Thank you again for joining us. The Butterfly Experience is open daily now through August 3rd at the Buffalo and Erie County Botanical Gardens. Coming up, we're getting a sneak peek at the great family entertainment you'll find this summer at Artpark. Stay with us. Artpark has been entertaining audiences in the village of Lewiston for over 50 years. This season is no exception, and they have a terrific lineup of festivals and events, especially for families. I'm here with Dave Wiedekind, president of Artpark and Company, to find out what they have in store this summer. Welcome, Dave.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Let's start with the festivals. Artpark has a couple of them coming up, including a fan favorite returning for its 15th year on July 12th, the annual Fairy House Festival. Tell us a little about what families will experience at this year's event.
Yeah, the Fairy House Festival, it's a truly magical afternoon at Artpark. We kind of have the perfect setting for it, and you can actually really believe that the fairies do come, and they arrive, and they've come out of the forest. So it's really, it's a great family event. It's also an all ages event. You have, everyone, children to grandparents, and everyone in between loves coming there because there's something really for each age group, right? So, but at the core, we enjoy the fairy houses. They're custom creations, and people get really involved, and there'll be dozens and dozens of those kind of tucked in the woods, and you can wander through the little trail in the woods and discover them and see and just enjoy being around the other festival goers wearing their fairy wings. Although you don't have to dress up, but it's encouraged. Get into the spirit.
It adds to the experience, right?
'Cause you don't have a lot of opportunities to put on your fairy wings, so you can good, perfect day to do it. And then, in addition to the fairy house tours, we have crafts and fairy. You can make T-shirts and fairy wings and other creative things that our art team comes up with. And then there's entertainment. This year we're gonna start it off with a little parade from the down the red brick road from our upper parking lots, and we're kind of taking more of an international theme. Each year we have a little different theme. And this year will be international performers, and the story is that fairies have come from all over the world. So it's a real immersive, fun day. And of course, there's snacks and concessions and all that too, and things to buy, and just enjoy being in the park.
And looking further ahead into the summer, you have a brand new festival coming up this August. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, that's the Cirque Festival. And over the years, in more recent years, we've been doing some like Cirque style performances. Think like Cirque du Soleil, like that kind of outdoor acrobatic, kind of thing. Not animals and peanuts and all that kind of stuff. More like just actual like acrobatic performers.
A high flying
So
action type of thing.
exactly. And then so I had the idea to, why don't we bring in a couple of these performers and then make a festival out of it because we have that perfect open space. So headlining this first Cirque Festival will be a group called Flip Fabrique, and they're out of Montreal. And if you know anything about the Cirque performance world, Montreal is like the center of the universe. That's where everybody comes out of.
Okay.
So, and they study there, they practice there, they rehearse. All the companies are there. So they're coming in, and they're arriving on a school bus. The theme of the show is called Summer Break. And so they're all dressed like they walked out of a 1980s summer camp movie. So tube socks and headgear and all this kind of stuff. And then they perform their whole show on top of, in front of, around a school bus.
Oh, very nice.
So it's pretty wild. And then also that day we'll have a group from Buffalo, Sly Boots Circus. And many people might know them for their kind of street level performance kind of stuff, drumming and dancing and head spins and all these kind of things, plate spinning, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll also have another artist called Violent Defiant, and she does trapeze, and that the kind of aerial work.
Excellent.
So yeah, so there'll it'll just be another really nice opportunity to just come into the park. And I tell people if your experience with Artpark is primarily coming here on concerts with thousands of other people, check out these festivals because you really then get to enjoy the park and the trails, and you can check out the art installations while you're here and everything too. And we've priced it very affordable for families, and we have discount family 4-packs for both of these events, and those are available now. And come and see us.
Perfect. Sounds like great experiences for the families. Now, you also have a new weekly program this summer for our youngest future artists and their caregivers. Give us some information about the Wonder Wednesdays program.
Yes, that's brand new, and it's kind of the evolution of we used to have a program some of your listeners might be familiar with called Free Family Saturdays for years. And, we've just found that it was time to try something different. So this year we're going to pause Free Family Saturdays, but then we're going to pick up with this thing called Wonder Wednesdays. So that'll be on Wednesday mornings for 2 hours, starting in the beginning of July. And there's information on our website about that. And then really targeting preschool age children and their caregivers. And it'll be, of course, crafts and art making activities. And then it'll also involve some things with the natural area too, and get kids a chance to move around. At that age, they have a lot of energy and excitement, and they don't want to just sit in one place. So we definitely know that.
And this is the perfect place to work that out.
Absolutely, you can run around on the grass and get out all that energy before it's time for nap, right? So so we're really excited to try that out this year. We have we do request RSVPs on our website, and those slots are filling up fast. Okay. So encourage people to get on that if they're interested.
So be sure to register soon in order to secure your space in the program. And closing out the season, there's a hugely popular children's show that's coming to life on the main stage, I understand.
Yes, that's Cocomelon.
Yes.
So hugely popular YouTube show, and I believe they were on Netflix and all that for a while too, but first time that touring show is coming to the area, I believe, or at least to Artpark. It's been a few years, so excited to have that. And again, at Artpark, we're all about serving the families and just a wide variety of people, and so this is something we haven't done in a while. We haven't had a professional touring stage show for kids come through, so hope everyone will come and see it.
I'm sure they'll enjoy it. And where can our listeners go to find more information on these events and to purchase tickets?
Everything is at artpark.net. You'll see our calendar and links to buy tickets. yeah, all the information and these and many other things we have coming in this summer are posted.
Well, Dave Wiedekind, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here today. Just ahead, we're paying a visit to North Tonawanda's Herschell Carrousel Factory Museum to see what they have planned for National Carousel Day. We'll be right back. North Tonawanda is the home of the Carousel and of the historic Herschell Carrousel Factory Museum, which was established 45 years ago in 1980. The museum is getting ready to celebrate National Carousel Day on July 25th, and here to tell us more about that is Ian Sapala, Executive Director of the Herschell Carrousel Factory Museum. Welcome, Ian.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Now, for those of our listeners who may not be familiar, tell us a little bit about Alan Herschell and the rich history of the carousel here in North Tonawanda.
Sure. So Alan Herschell was a Scottish immigrant who came to North Tonawanda seeking a better life. He was a mold maker who ends up creating 4 separate companies in North Tonawanda that end up producing 50% of all American carousels.
And this museum is named after him and his contributions to the carousel. Tell our listeners exactly what they'll experience when they pay a visit to the Herschell Carrousel Factory Museum.
So the museum is incredibly unique as it is the only carousel museum in the world built in the original factory. So this is actually where carousels were physically built. When you walk through the museum, you'll be able to experience the areas where they were hand carved, where they were actually painted, and then you can ride a carousel that was built in this building over 109 years ago. That is our Alan Herschell Special Number 1, 1916 carousel.
And that carousel recently went through a restoration, is that correct?
Yes, so we just finished after a 40-year period of restoring the machine. It is entirely complete. We now have 14 brand new paintings that were done by all of our volunteers around the outside. All of our hand-carved wooden details have also been included. It's a really beautiful sight to behold and ride.
Wonderful. And in addition to the rides on the carousel, you also have your Kittyland testing park here. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so on top of building carousels, the 4 companies here in North Tonawanda that did amusement equipment did all kinds. So they also made roller coasters and children's rides and things like that. We are at our 9th year of having the testing park that has 4 children's rides all made here. They include wet boats, pony carts, cars, and the helicopters, which are my favorite. 3 of those 4 rides were actually originally from Page's Whistle Pig, which was a famous park and restaurant in Niagara Falls, New York.
Yes, yes. Friday, July 25th is National Carousel Day, a significant and special day here for the museum. What are some of the activities that you have planned for visitors for that day?
So we're really excited. The big attraction for National Carousel Day is with general admission, it's unlimited carousel rides. So it's great for all of those that really enjoy to ride the carousel. And if you want to save a little bit of money and have all the great experience, you can ride as many times as you want that day. We also have a bunch of our local partners like the Aquarium of Niagara coming to do educational purposes with the kids. And we have some of our carvers here as well to show exactly how we take care of and maintain carousel horses.
And seeing those demonstrations is pretty magnificent. The artistry and the craftsmanship is truly incredible.
Yeah, we consider ourselves one of the pillars for carousel carving to this day. It's an amazing skill and craft. We actually still teach it twice a year. It's really important for the museum to be able to push that into the future, into new generations, because it's an amazing skill.
Now, the museum also has a special offering on the 3rd Thursday of July and August. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, our summer nights, which are our 3rd Thursday programs, allow guests to come to the museum at night when some of our people wouldn't normally be able to come during the day. It is $1 admission and $1 per ride. It's fun for the whole family at a cost that everyone can afford. We've got some great local partners that are sponsoring those different days. And it's really awesome to be able to have people in the museum whenever we can. And we're glad that we can increase our hours for those couple of days to have everyone involved.
And in addition to the terrific events that you have lined up here at the museum, you also offer great outreach programs for kids off-site at the North Tonawanda and the Newstead libraries. Is that correct?
That is, we're really lucky to have a generous grant from the Garmin Foundation that allows us this year, for the rest of 2025 actually, to be able to have these free programs at our two partner libraries. So the North Tonawanda Library every other Thursday has these free educational programs, and then at the Newstead Library in Akron, New York, it is every Monday. And those programs are free to the public. They are science and technology lessons using the history and the technology from the carousel to have these kids learn different practices and things that are going to help them in the future. Ages about 3 to 10 is really what's suggested for the programs.
Fantastic. And you have a special event also coming up that car enthusiasts are going to want to know about.
Our fifth annual Classics at the Carousel is coming up. It's a great program. We take the entire park in front of the museum, and we have a bunch of historic cars come, and we do a basket raffle. We do a 50-50. We have a DJ, all kinds of food trucks. It's an awesome experience for even those that aren't huge carousel enthusiasts. It's a great way to see the cars and win some really cool prizes.
And that will be on July 26th, is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, where can our listeners go to find out more about the museum and all of the other upcoming events that you have throughout the year?
So they can find us on social media under Carousel Museum. Also, the biggest and easiest place to find us is at our website, which is carouselmuseum.org. We spell it with 2 R's.
That's right, yes.
So, yes, the carousel word actually doesn't join the English language dictionary till after World War II. So every different company spelled it different ways. So we did the double R method. There were companies that actually used an E on the end, all kinds of crazy spellings. But now we use the double R. So make sure when you're finding us and looking for our website, it's spelled with 2 R's.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Ian. We appreciate you being here with us today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me again.
Up next, we're headed to the Aquarium of Niagara, where inspiration has been swimming for 6 decades. Stay with us. 60 years ago, the Aquarium of Niagara first opened its doors in Niagara Falls, New York, and now they're diving into this landmark anniversary with some bold new offerings. Here to talk about those is Chad Pfeiffer, President and CEO of the Aquarium of Niagara. Welcome, Chad.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Now, one of the newest additions to the aquarium is actually something that you'll see outside of the building as you're approaching. Tell us a little bit about the new mural installation at the Rescue Harbor.
Yeah, so we wanted to come up with some unique ways to celebrate our 60th anniversary, and we are currently dealing with a little bit of construction around our outdoor pool, but we had the idea of figuring out how to activate that fence line. It can be boring. It's something that has to be there for the sake of safety for our animals and for our guests. So we worked within our staff and then with a local elementary school, Abbott Elementary, to put together a mural fence project that represents that 60-year history.
And it's all made of recyclable materials, is that correct?
It is 11,400 individual pieces, different colors, recycled material that are still being placed in the fence as we speak, actually.
Wow. What a great way to get the kids involved in the community for this anniversary celebration for the aquarium. And you're getting ready to unveil a brand new attraction here at the aquarium, a totally immersive virtual reality experience. Is that right?
Yes, that is. Yes. When I started in the position, we went out into the community to get some feedback on what they wanted to see in the future of the aquarium. And they mentioned sharks. We are not yet in a position to bring that shark experience to the aquarium, but we can do the next best thing. So we're working with a company called Emotion to do a virtual reality immersive shark dive. It's good for people that have motion sickness or vertigo, and it's an experience that we've tested through staff and volunteers and board members, and it should be up and running now.
And that's perfect for somebody like me who thinks that the idea of swimming with sharks is an awesome experience, but maybe doesn't want to get too close to them.
Yeah, this is definitely the safest way to do it.
These attractions are just the latest additions in many ongoing improvements here at the aquarium. We're actually coming up on the 1-year anniversary of a major expansion here at the aquarium. What can you tell our listeners about Great Lakes 360?
Yes, so Great Lakes 360 opened last July. As you mentioned, it's the first real expansion in the aquarium's 60-year history. We were telling the story of some of our local species, but not in as thorough of a way as we had hoped. So with the old Niagara Gorge Discovery Center, we saw an opportunity to be able to broaden that story, tell it in a more impactful way, and become a better partner to New York State Parks. It has been a fabulous addition, highlighted by the Lake Sturgeon Touch Tank that we still get great reviews about, but it is 16 new exhibits. It really leans into the species that are here in the Niagara Gorge and in the Great Lakes. It doesn't just focus on fish. We have invertebrates, reptiles, and amphibians in that space as well. And it tells a strong narrative story about how we intersect with those animals in our daily lives and the importance they play in this ecosystem that's right around us.
So in addition to getting to see sea life from around the planet, you get to see the locals and what lives here right in our waters of the Great Lakes.
Yeah, and some of those animals you may not expect to see. You know, there's a misnomer that all of the boring brown fish is what we have here at home. But we've been able to activate people that think that's what we have and show them some species that they've likely never seen before that live right in our backyard.
Yes, and I also have to mention that when people go to visit that exhibit, they need to make a point to head up to your rooftop and check out the view from there, because it has the most incredible view of the Niagara Gorge.
Oh, we really do. You know, you get an exceptional view of the falls from everywhere else. You can see a little bit of Horseshoe from the top of the roof, but the bigger highlight is seeing down to the bottom of the gorge. You can see where the Maid of the Mist boats are docked during the winter. I watched all of the ice travel down the gorge as they were breaking it up in the spring. It's a really neat viewpoint that you don't get from anywhere else.
It really is spectacular. And now you have some great experiences lined up for children and for families this summer, including a couple of summer camps that you're hosting in July and August. Can you tell us a little about those?
Sure. Yes, we have two camps coming up this summer, one in July, the 14th through the 18th. That is our marine biologist in action. And then the second is a junior vet camp, August 11th through 15th. Both of the programs really lean into the work that we do here at the aquarium, try to give the participants an idea of how comprehensive a day at the aquarium can be, how complicated it can be. So obviously our junior vet camp leans into just that, what it's like to be a veterinarian, taking care of all of the animals that are in our care. Our marine biologist in action focuses in on things like water chemistry, the balance of everything that goes into running even a single tank here at the aquarium, to make sure that the animals stay healthy inside of it, and all of the work that's happening behind the scenes. So both of them they're different looks at the work that we do, but both really neat kind of peeks behind the curtain at what it takes to get everything up and running.
And I'm sure space will fill up very fast in those two programs. So
it usually does.
Yes. So they should, people who are interested should head to your website and register online. And you also have a popular annual community event making a return here.
Yeah, so our annual Party on the Plaza will happen on July 30th from 5:30 to 7:30 at night. We offer a couple of those free community events right out on Whirlpool Commons each year. And again, we're getting feedback from the community and looking for ways to continue expanding those offerings. But we're going to treat this as a 60th birthday party in the plaza this year, since we just had our anniversary. It'll be a big celebration. There was an addition last year of a dunk tank that myself and several of our community elected officials got involved in. And it was so popular that we're bringing it back. So I'm starting to mentally prepare myself for the dunk tank now. But it should be a good time. It's usually lots of community vendors, lots of activities, just a fun summer party.
Wonderful. Excellent. And where can our listeners go to find out more information about the Aquarium of Niagara and all of the events and attractions that you have here for them?
Yeah, you can always find more information at aquariumofniagara.org. Of course, follow us on social media. We have very active social media channels. Any information you need, you can find there. And if you can't, you'll find an email address or a phone number to reach out and ask.
Okay, terrific. Chad Pfeiffer, thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that wraps up the first episode of the Western New York Family Magazine podcast. For more great parenting information and local events, pick up your copy of Western New York Family Magazine, available for free at all Wegmans locations, your public library, and at many of our advertisers. You can also read us for free online at www.wnyfamilymagazine.com. I'd like to thank Chad Pfeiffer, Shauna Moni, Olivia Rondon, Dave Wiedekind, and Ian Sapala for joining us today. And of course, thank you to you, our listeners, For the Western New York Family Magazine podcast, I'm Paul Klein. We hope you'll join us again next time. And until then, make every day a great day. The Western New York Family Magazine podcast is a production of Western New York Family Incorporated.